point to point, point to point. So what is point to point? Put quite simply, it is travelling from one point, one random point, to another point. And that is you being able to construct a route in your head, so you see where the start point is, you see where the end point is, and being able to construct a route that is the most direct and satisfies the most direct route on the map. And that's what effectively you have to do in appearance. It is point to point. Now, starting point to point. When do I start point to point? Generally, most people will start point to point once they've finished their blue books. And that's because you've covered a good amount of roads. And ideally, you would like to have covered a few points as well, so you'll have some points of interest ready for you there that you can then start to work with on point to point. When you first start doing point to point, you will jump on blue book lines. That's absolutely fine. And to be fair, even going right through the knowledge, right onto 21s in the later stages, if the most direct route is a blue book line, jump on it. That's just a ticket to freedom when that happens, because you're cutting down your thinking time, but more importantly, if you can recognise that shows sort of true knowledge really, because a blue book is most fundamental lines, and sometimes the examiners will give you those. On the very first 56s, they intentionally, some of the examiners do it. It kind of used to be that the kind of first 56 to kind of ease you into the appearance process was they'd give you a blue book run, but they would change the start and the end points, and it was more so you could quickly then go, yep, and then find it. Coming later up on point to point though, what you will then generally find is that you will make your own lines, and you will find your own kind of bang, like that way. So you kind of move off of blue book runs. You can still use parts of them, and this is why they're quite good, because later on in point to point, you'll start, formulating a run in your head, and you go, right, I'll use that bit from that blue book, then I'll cut onto there, and then what's really important at point to point is penning it up afterwards. Seeing your brain, doing those roads, then penning it up, you then start to get an idea of perspective of the map as you do that. And that's all point to point is. It's just really crude. Keep doing it. You're going to call some bananas when you begin. It is inevitable. It's very, very hard. But that's how you then get better. Then you then pen it up. You might find that the line is awful, and then then look at the most ideal line, then call it again, and try and cement those roads in your head and the route that then takes. Most importantly, point to point in appearance anywhere. If you can't see it, just get them there. This was a tip I learned when I first went to the Grays Knowledge School. I didn't actually go to a knowledge school, they were a little bit too far away from me, but I popped in there once and had a little sort of practice session when I was trying to start point to point. And a guy there gave me a really, really good tip, and that is get the examiner there. If you can't get the examiner to that end point, they have to score you 0. You haven't satisfied the objective of point to point because you haven't got them to that end point. And as a cabbie, you can't just go, oh, don't have to get to the end. Oh, you have to get out here. You have to get them there. So even if you go around the houses a bit, like when you're calling your point to point, even if you sort of, you don't know necessarily the best end point, get them there. I mean, the examiner might score you maybe like a 2, a 3 or something like that. That's better than getting a 0. And sometimes that can be all it takes to get you a score and getting you walking out the exam room happy. So even if you have to go around the houses, and you'll find that you have to do that when you first start point to point anyway. So you might jump on a blue book line and then you think, right, okay, done at the end. Even if you have to go round the point to come back onto it, that's fine. Just get into the habit of finishing the run. Always finish the run. Even one of my later 21s, I completely, it was awful, completely balls it up. I completely overcomplicated the run. And it was almost the point where I almost went, I'd almost gone too far beyond. I thought, well, I've screwed up here. What am I going to do? Nearly put my hands up and went, sorry, sir, I can't do it. No. Even if you've gone completely the wrong way, you've really screwed yourself, you've gone down a one-way street that shot you off down the other end of the map, you've got to come back, finish the run, get them there. They'll still maybe score you a 2 or 3, whatever it may be. Much better than getting a 0. Complete every run.